So I'm sure you guys know who Krystal Ball is. She is a host now on Breaking Points, formerly of The Hills Rising. Now she has seemed to be getting some backlash on the Breaking Points channel. It seems kind of every once in a while it seems to be happening, and it seems to be, I guess, because she will have a take that's maybe progressive or left wing that the right wing fans of the channel don't like. And it seems more and more that I think, especially when it comes to the comment section, it seems like most of the fans do kind of lean at least a little bit right wing. We know that Sagar has a huge fan base on there. A lot of the people there are there for him. I don't know how many of the people there are there for Krystal Ball, to be completely honest with you, especially when based off of the comment section. But there appears to be a couple instances now in which Krystal Ball has gotten backlash from the fans of Breaking Points for having what seems to be kind of maybe a left-wing take that's too left or something like that. Now this video is titled Krystal Ball, Tulsi Gabbard accused of shifting right, going full Dave Rubin. Now that's pretty funny, going full Dave Rubin. I did see Dave Rubin respond to the tweet, so it caught his attention, of course. I was surprised that Krystal Ball put this video together because one criticism I had of Krystal Ball was she seemed to just kind of think that the idea of anybody that was, quote, anti-establishment was a good candidate or a good idea. I personally didn't like Tulsi or Andrew Yang. Both of them are definitely grifters, and so that didn't really make sense to me. I felt like it was just kind of stupid. But it appears that she has made a video going after Tulsi Gabbard because she has made a bunch of comments. She's been continuously appearing on Fox News and saying stuff that obviously is catered to a right-wing audience. So, you know, she apparently didn't really criticize or talk about the drone strike that, you know, had killed civilians, and instead kind of used it to, I guess, support drone strikes further. But there are multiple instances of this kind of thing happening with Tulsi Gabbard claiming that there's an open borders policy going on. So it's clearly a lot of like weird virtue signaling to right-wingers. Now I think that she's going to end up being a full-time host on Fox News at some point. They're going to offer her a good chunk of change. She's got nowhere else to go. That's her only option. She's not a member of Congress anymore, and she'll make some good money, I bet you. So this video, it has almost more dislikes than likes. 6.1k likes to 4.7k dislikes. Now, this is obviously an extremely contentious like to dislike rate. Now, one thing that I do find interesting about this is, you know, there being videos where there are very contested like to dislike ratios, I don't think necessarily is a bad thing. I mean, it could indicate that there's just disagreement going on and that kind of thing, which I think is fine. I was also surprised that she put the going full Dave Rubin part. But if you read the comment section, pretty much all of the comments are coming out against her. Again, definitely the Sagar fans or the right-wing leaning fans are more inclined to comment on here, I think. This comment says, Krystal, she is the woman president we need, not the crooked crone creep you want. I would like to hear her response to this criticism. Krystal, do you not know the difference between Islamist and Islamic? Tulsi clearly used the word Islamist, but you conflated it with Islamic. So here's the thing about that, right? It's true that there's a difference. I didn't even know the difference until a couple years back. Why on earth it would be called Islamist is really beyond me. That's a very confusing term that I bet you the vast majority of people don't know. So it just seems like a dumb term in the first place that I really don't know why people are using. But a lot of people asking them to actually bring Tulsi Gabbard on. After Congress, Tulsi repeatedly went after strikes in Syria and prosecution of Assange. She's much more like a weirdly unorthodox centrist. So it's clear that, you know, like Tulsi Gabbard was never against wars. She was more just against, I guess, boots on the ground in areas, but she's down to like I'd bet she's probably even in favor of airstrikes and stuff like that, which kill lots of civilians and don't really seem to solve problems. But yeah, a bunch of people here going after Tulsi Gabbard. Look, I'm no fan of the left, but I'm open-minded and right of center. I think Tulsi would have been a far better choice than Biden. The woman has moxie and conviction. Jesus. Your commentary on her comes off as snarky and frankly biased against her. Tulsi is speaking rationally and her commentary is thoughtful. So this is the kind of comment that obviously you're going to say if you're a right-winger, because the comments that Tulsi Gabbard is making are literally catered to right-wingers. That's why she's speaking the way that she is. But anyways, you can read through the comment section yourself. It's just a ton of people shitting on Krystal Ball for her comments on Tulsi Gabbard. But there appears to even be another video here that's starting to get some backlash. And I don't know how bad the backlash on this one's going to be. As of right now, as it stands, this video says, Krystal Ball to Dems, stop screwing around and mint the coin. Now, this is an interesting video where Krystal Ball talks about the idea of minting the coin. Now, I'm going to explain to you kind of briefly what it is in a second. But this video has 350 likes to 164 dislikes. So pretty contentious. I don't know what the like to dislike ratio is going to be as it grows, but as of right now, it's close to like a 1-to-2 ratio almost. So she explains that she wants the government to mint the coin. Now, what's going on, or actually I guess it would be the Fed chair, what's going on is there's actually, the United States is currently on the precipice of a massive crash because it's actually running out of money and needs to borrow more money, but there's a debt limit, there's a debt ceiling. Democrats are trying to raise the debt ceiling, but Republicans are refusing to take part in this, and so it's essentially at a standstill at this point. It's actually a pretty brutal situation, and if they are not to be able to fix this, it would be really awful. The currency would just completely crash. Now, there's this idea, it's called mint the coin. And so what I guess would happen is Janet Yellen, the Treasury Secretary, would be able to, I think it's the Treasury Secretary, would be able to mint a coin that's worth $1 trillion. And then just use that to, pay off the debt, I guess. And there was even, this is an idea that even was raised by Barack Obama even during his presidency. It says one strategy includes minting a $1 trillion coin, a move, she said, Representative Jerry Nadler of New York has raised. Back in 2013, during another debt ceiling fight, the Treasury and Federal Reserve said they wouldn't pursue such a plan as a way of avoiding the debt limit. And the White House earlier this month rejected the idea anew, saying there is only one viable option on the debt limit, increasing or suspending it. Now, Rashida Tlaib did send out a tweet supporting this. So I guess one of the options is literally to mint a $1 trillion coin. Now, obviously, anytime you're talking about like printing money, or you're worried about inflation and lowering the value of the currency, but it doesn't seem that this would apply in the same way because I guess it's the Federal Reserve instead of paying someone, so the money may be not in circulation. I don't know. Not sure how I feel about it. But there are a bunch of people who are obviously going off about this in here. Krystal needs to stick to civil liberties and foreign policy. An idea so unbelievably stupid it might work. And just like that, it was sunshine and unicorns again. I wasn't convinced by Krystal's argument, but after she called me dumb, I'm now on her side. Inflation hurts the poor the most. So, there's people going off on this one too. This is definitely a left-wing idea, minting the coin. It's an interesting idea. Not really sure where I fall on it. But right now, the U.S. is on a precipice of complete disaster. And I think the Fed is going to run out of money on October 18th. And if it defaults on its debt, that would mean that the currency would collapse, and that would severely impact foreign markets, just, global markets. So it's in a situation right now where it may be in dire straits. And despite, the Republicans, raising the debt ceiling and putting on like $8 trillion of debt during the Trump admin, they don't seem to be down now because obviously they're going to be, very obstructive, right? So, that's what's going on here.